Arsenal's midfield this season has been massively unbalanced. There's a number of reasons for this, but there's some stats here I've got in front of me that is going to shock everyone. Arteta's brought in players like Havertz, hoping to make our midfield more dynamic. But I'm going to tell you why in this video it's just not working. And believe me, I'm sure things are way worse than Mikel Arteta expected them to be, okay? So we're going to get straight into it. So we're going to match up the two players that Arteta basically substituted for one another, okay? Last season we had Xhaka in that number 8 position, and this year we got Kai Havertz. Mikel Arteta thought it would be a good idea to bring Havertz in because he thought we would have much more of the ball this season. So he thought Havertz would be able to offer way more in attack. So let's see if the stats back up that theory. Right, so the first section we're going to be getting straight into is the attacking section. Like I said, Arteta thought Havertz would be a better attacking option. And in terms of goals, Xhaka had 7 last season and Havertz has 4 this season. We're just over halfway through the season, so the goal trajectory for Havertz is probably on the same level for Xhaka. So they're probably going to end up on the same amount of goals, about 7. So there's no difference there in terms of goals. So let's look at shots on target. So last season, Xhaka had 14. So far this season, Havertz has had 4. Remember, we are only halfway through the season though, so Havertz is slightly lower because we're only halfway through, but it's still way less than half of what Xhaka's is. So shots on target, Xhaka 14, Havertz 4. Shots off target, for the whole season last season, Xhaka was 12. Halfway through the season, Havertz is 14. He's already got more shots off target than Xhaka for the whole of last season. And it's reflected in the shooting accuracy. Granit Xhaka, 53%. Kai Havertz, 22%. That is a terrible shooting accuracy, and it's not like we can even be shocked with this because we saw it at Chelsea. Kai Havertz hasn't been able to hit a barn door for about 3 years. Ever since Bayer Leverkusen, his goal scoring and shooting ability has been poor. So the next one's quite telling as well. So big chances missed. Xhaka for the whole of last season, he missed 3 big chances. So far, halfway through the season, Kai Havertz has missed 4 big chances. Again, it doesn't look favourable towards Havertz. So let's look how they're linking with their Arsenal teammates, okay? So pass completion for the whole of last season, Granit Xhaka was 86%. So far, Havertz is 82%. So again, that's another thing Havertz isn't as good as Xhaka at. He can't move the ball as good as Xhaka. So let's look at passes forward, and this one is terrible from Havertz, okay? So passes forward, Xhaka 439, Kai Havertz 117. But backwards passes, Havertz is 116. So he's basically split down the middle, 50-50. 117 passes forward, 116 passes backwards. So he's not even progressing the ball through midfield. So we wonder why we're not getting as many chances this season to our attackers. It's because our number 8, who is basically one of the main passers of the football team, he's passing it backwards as much as he is forward. That is a telling stat. Again, touches, Granit Xhaka 1,980, Kai Havertz 600. These are measly numbers. I thought this one was interesting as well, to be fair. So crosses, Granit Xhaka managed to put in 39 crosses last season. Kai Havertz 7. So he's actually offering less in terms of running into the channels than Granit Xhaka. He can't even put crosses in. He's got 7 crosses. Xhaka was 39 all of last season. These numbers are telling us so much as to why our attack is failing this season. So we've looked at team play and attacking play, and they're the 2 areas you would expect Havertz to be beating Xhaka, because Xhaka originally was a number 6 for Arsenal. He was the centre defensive mid. So the fact that he's outperforming Havertz in attacking play is so embarrassing to Havertz. This is an attacking midfielder and he's getting beaten in terms of attacking play by Granit Xhaka, a CDM. So let's look at defending, and this is where you would expect Xhaka to excel, okay? So clean sheets, Xhaka 9, Havertz so far 2. Blocks, Xhaka 10, Havertz 1. Successful tackles, Xhaka's nearly 30, Havertz is 10. Clearances, Xhaka 41, Kai Havertz 4. Again, it just keeps getting worse. Headed clearances, Xhaka 19, Havertz 3. So he's not offering nowhere near as much going forward, and he's offering even less defensively. So what are we getting from Havertz that we wasn't getting from Xhaka last season? We've got a way worse player here. And of course you can use the excuse as, oh, well, Xhaka was getting older, so we had to get rid of him. Xhaka now is still only 31 years old. We've got Thomas Partey, who's 30 years old, and we can't wait to get him back. So the fact we got rid of Xhaka for Havertz is a really confusing one. I mean, is it just me, or is there something I'm missing with Havertz? I really don't understand the appointment. We've definitely gone backwards in terms of attack. We've seemingly gone backwards in terms of defence, but I've got that video coming up, so I won't release that just yet. But I don't get what we're doing as a football club. We've brought in players that have made us worse. And this is on the manager. I mean, I have to keep expressing myself when I say I do think this is the right man for the job, but decisions like this definitely go against him. You can see why some fans turn against him, because there's no way of comprehending these kind of decisions. You've got rid of Xhaka and you've brought in Havertz. And it's not even like we didn't know what Havertz was. We brought him from one of our rivals in Chelsea, a London rival, and we saw how terrible it is. When we brought him, we saw how happy Chelsea fans were. That should have been a dead giveaway. If you've got opposition fans, your rivals, and you've bought one of their players, not only one of their players, this is a player that won them the Champions League, and they're still begging to get rid of him. That should have been a massive red flag for Arsenal, and I don't get why they haven't seen it or how they didn't see this coming. So now we have to try and think of resolutions. What can we do? Do we just persist with this till the end of the season and carry on with these poor performances? Carry on with a player who is showing no ability to be able to do anything going forward or defensively, or even move the ball? I mean, a couple of positives. We've obviously got the January transfer window open, but I don't expect Arsenal to make moves in the January transfer window. Another positive is we got Partey nearly back, and I will do a video on Partey and explain how that will change Arsenal massively, so make sure you're subscribed for that. But let me know your opinions on everything you've heard in this video. Do you agree with me? Do you think the switching of Havertz and Xhaka has had a massive downward effect on Arsenal? Let me know. And as always, thanks to everyone for watching. I do appreciate it. Do me a favour though, hit like and subscribe, and I'll speak to you all in tomorrow's video. Gooners, have a good day.